Hey guys, it's Maymay, and it's time for part 2 of our album without a trimmer. I'm not really sure what we're calling this one. Album in an afternoon? Not sure. Okay, so in my last video, lots of comments that I want to make sure I respond to. One was, you do have a template for this guy. You showed it earlier. You were right, but the template I showed earlier was for one of the folios that came with a template for inside the folio. This particular container is a separate piece, and it did not come with a template. So this one, we had to do it the way I did it. The other thing was, I'm concerned about the book when you add the photos. I'm not going to tell you that I'm not concerned about that as well. We're going to see what happens. I printed out a lot of photos, and we're going to work on that today. So we'll see how that goes. I have another concern. Let me show you this. Now, I must tell you, we do not have heating in our building overnight. Like when we leave here, how do I explain this? So the back part of our building does not have a heating unit. We use standalone units in each room. And so when we leave, we turn it off. And that has affected something. Let me show you this. My tape is not loving sticking down, and not all of it, just pieces of it here and there. And I know that is because my room gets cold and a little bit moist at night. So I may have to, of course, we're coming out of the cold season here, so we'll be okay there. But I want you to see that. Let me see if there's any. I haven't even opened it. It's been here all weekend. No, we're doing pretty good here. That tape did really well. This piece here is loose. I need to glue it down. But other than that, they look pretty good. Now, I think we glued a couple of pieces that were kind of getting loose here and there. But for the most part, it's doing good. And these pieces, this is tape, and it's doing fine. But I wanted to clarify all that. So really quick, while we're here, let's glue those pieces down. I felt like I was going to get some pop-up from these guys. But this is no big deal. We just stick some glue here and glue that into place. So that one's doing okay. Looks good. All right, so today, I just wanted to address all of those things, which I thought were valid concerns, and so I wanted to talk about them. Today, we start stuffing our little books. Now, I want to show you the photos I'm going to use. Breaking in here to ask you to hit that red subscribe button. It's free. Also, hit the bell button beside it. You can help me reach my big goal this year of 400,000 subscribers. Okay, back to crafting. Okay, really quick, I want to tell you that the photos I'm going to use today are from a trip we took to the Downton Abbey exhibit in Atlanta. Me and the Made Its, we had a great time, and that's where these pictures come from. Secondly, I want to tell you that I had these printed from Walgreens. I went online to walgreens.com. I uploaded the photos from my phone and printed them out. If you want me to show you that, I can do a separate tutorial on that. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to treat these like a paper pack. I'm going to dissect them into sort of the timing of the trip or when we took these pictures. So for example, all of these here were taken at the end of the day as we were leaving. So I want to put those here. These were sort of in the same time. I'm going to take those there. This is all from like the kitchen area and the hallway. So I'm going to keep all of those together. So when I'm laying out the album, it kind of makes sense. So these were from on the way to the trip. Here's all our food. Is a trip really a trip if you don't take pictures of your food? I don't know. These are all of the outfits. I'm going to put those into a separate pile. So go through and dissect your photos into like chapters of the trip. Now, there's no way I'm going to use all these photos. I just wanted to go ahead and print them all out because I love them and I wanted to have them. So I'm going to separate everything. I'm separating even into bedroom and dining room. So let me do this. We'll get right back together. Okay, so mine ended up being group photos or photos of signs of the exhibit there. The end of the day, this was in the gift shop. We were taking those photos. This is the kitchen and the main hall. This is the dining room. This is our lunch. I may put those here with the early part of the day. This is just walking around, and the bedroom was here, so I put all of this with the bedroom area. And these guys are all the photos I took of the outfits. Now, I want to let you know, we're going to have a card series that is inspired by the outfits from Downton. That'll be coming closer to May when the new movie releases. That's something we've challenged ourselves to do. I think it'll be fun, so watch for that. But I'll probably use some of those pictures in the album too. Let's start with the first thing, which would have been our travel. I did not take pictures of us like in the van or anything like that, but like this photo, Not this one because it's in the building. This photo I want to use, and then obviously our food pieces. All right, so let's come over here. So when you open the album, the main part is going to be this guy. Like this is the first thing you're going to see once the album is completely opened out. So I think I should put some of these images in here and on here. Now, one thing I think would be really cool is if I turned this photo into the opening for this envelope. So let's see what that looks like. Okay, if you're a person that panics when someone cuts a photo, this is not going to be the album for you. You can just put your full photos in, but I like to cut and play. And so I'm going to be trimming mine down in different places. And again, if that bothers you, don't do it. But for me, I want them to feel like the album is one piece. Now, I did just learn something. My trimmer, when I go too fast, marks the photo. So I need to slow down and do this a little more precision. Maybe let's try sinking the blade and going up and down. I pressed too hard and went too fast and got a little mark, but I'm going to use it anyway. We're going to use it anyway. There we go. Okay, so that, I think that's cool, and it kind of looks like ephemera, right? Another thing I should have done and I did not do, I should have got these printed in matte. So you might want to do that. I got these printed glossy. I just never even thought of just click, click, click and did it. So you might want to think about that if you like your photos matte finished. And I do. Okay, so let's bring this guy back over. So I'm thinking this might be cute here or just on here so that you can see, you know, what we're fixing to get into. I think on there might be cute. Let's figure out some paper for here. Okay, so I found this green. This is actually the back of my cover from the pack. I'm going to use this to make my template, just like we did on the front. I'm going to place this guy here where I want him. And I want him something like this. Now, this time I'm not cutting as much off. In the front of the album, I cut 1/4 inch off of this section. If you want to see this done in more detail with more instruction, check out part 1 because I really show that in detail. But I'm not going to cut as much off of this. I'm only going to cut 1/8 inch off of this. And the reason is this is a different size than that front flip is. So here's what I mean. I'm going to cut this strip first. Let's see if we're lined up. A little bit that away. There we go. I'm going to cut this side. Then I'm going to come back and cut that 1/8 inch off. And to do that for me, I'm splitting the difference of this gap that is the 1/4 inch gap. And I'm doing it by eye. If I don't have my trimmer over here. This is somebody else's trimmer that I'm using. My trimmer, I have it marked at 1/8 inch, but this one I don't. So I'm just floating it and eyeballing it, literally, y'all. And I know you do this stuff too. And it will be fine. It will work out just fine. But if you want to mark your trimmer at 1/8 inch, you can do that too. All right, let's see if we did okay. Let's see if we're fine or not. I think we will be. Yeah, look, that's great. It fits perfect. So we know that's going to live there. So I'm going to glue that one down. Now what I'm going to do is pull out some ephemera and see if I want to use some of that here. So you guys, the ephemera in this pack in particular, this is the Avesta ephemera bits, has large pieces this large all the way down to little tiny pieces that you can use. There's sentiments in here, all kinds of stuff. And you can see them. Oops, I'm spilling them out. You can see them on the back. So you can kind of look and see what you're looking for. So I pulled out a bunch of things that I think I might want to use. See how I've kind of laid it up here. So let me show you what we're looking like here. I want to build this little piece. This little postcard was in there, which is so cute. I want to build this little piece where this guy lives on here as part of the postcard. And I'm thinking, do I want to put something behind it? Like this and then kind of like this. I like that kind of shape there. We're just going to build around it. So let's go with that. So, and I might even put this, I don't know. Let's go with what we just did. This is the thing. You can overthink this and you can spend all day doing it, or you can just play. And I told you I'm trying to just play with this album and see what I get. So now I'm going to glue this directly down. Now I do want to tell you guys, a lot of you guys have asked me if this glue is acid free for your scrapbooking. It is not. So if that's a caution for you, you want to pay attention to that and use a different glue if you need to. But I've always used it and I've not had a problem so far. So that's what we're going to do. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Okay. Now I want to build it to fit on my little envelope flap here. So let's get there where you guys can see it. I want this guy to live here, kind of like it was just tossed and just dropped there like that. And I'm thinking it might be pretty to have some of these tickets coming behind it and maybe some coming in front of it. Now, the tickets for this event were not 10 cents, but I still think that's kind of cute. They were not 10 cents. Also, look at these little sentiments. This one says, "In love with this memory." Isn't that cute? And I might want to put that one up here as well, somewhere. Maybe here, maybe here. And then I found this. This says, "Ready for this." And this one says, "Collect moments and memories." And wouldn't that be cute on there? Just kind of messy like that. I think it'll be cute. Now, I think I want to put something behind it that's a little floral. So give me a second. So I want to show you this too. I have these little trays that we use all the time when we're doing stuff like this that I just put some of the little bits in. So I'm going to set these trays up here. You won't be able to see them. I'll put them off the screen so they won't be cluttery. But I have them close to me so I can dig in whenever I need something. Okay, look what I found. I found these little hearts, and I found this little circle that says pure joy. And I still might use these guys, so I'm going to leave them to the side just in case. But let's start gluing down. So my furthest back piece is this little guy right here. So I'm going to move these forward and glue this guy down. And one thing I want to be mindful of when I'm gluing, two things actually, is that I don't hang off the edge at the top, because remember, this has to fit into our big album. And I also don't want any glue out here hanging off the edge. If things hang off the edge at the bottom, it's fine, but I don't want any glue to hang off there. So now let's put this little guy into place. Also, notice I'm not using any foam in here. Again, I want to kind of keep as flat as I can, but I do want to kind of layer some things up. So I'm not adding any foam because of space. All right, so now we're going to stick this here, and I just want that to kind of hang off these two edges, just like so. Then this guy was going to lay up here. Do I want it to lay? Which way do I want it to lay? Maybe I want to cut it and only use one of them. Let's try that. Now, here's the deal. I'm going to do this whole album, but I'm not going to be able to do this on every page for you guys, like every single thing I do. But I will film it, and we will try to put it in for you guys to see, like with music and kind of fast speed. Because I'll be doing the same thing, but trying to film this would be hours and hours of footage, I'm afraid. Let's put that one there. Let's bring this one and kind of lay it over it. So we'll walk through this one, and then we'll see the others as we go. All right, I know I wanted this down here, "In love with this memory." Just like that. And I think I'm going to put "ready for this" on here. I think that'll be cute. I love when there's sentiments already done for you or wording already done for you. That's really cool. Ready for this. Like that. And then I have this little round circle that says pure joy. It's going to go up here. And then I have these little hearts. Let me place them and decide where I want to put them. Here and here. So something like that, so it'll really show, really pop on the background. And these are chipboard, so there's a little dimension in these, but it's not real bad. You just can't go wrong. You just pretty much lay something anywhere and it works. It's just so easy with these little albums. And the ephemera are, I just think life is going to be super easy here. All right, so that is the front of my little envelope folio. I can always come back and add anywhere I want to. If I want to put something on here, down here, I can add, but I just like the way that looks. I'll bring that up so you guys can kind of see. So I know I'm looking at my Downton Abbey exhibit. Isn't that cool? Now we can start working on the inside. Let's go ahead and cover this. It needs to be covered. Okay, so I have a caution for you. Here's the deal. I did not cut two of these when I cut that first one, and I should have. I should have used the first one as my template, and since I didn't, I kind of had to make this one up. So it's not exactly like the front, but it's all right. It's going to be covered, and we're good. So now we can close, and we're covered on both sides. All right, let's open it up and see where we're going. All right, so this is going to go this way. So I don't want to put anything here because I already have two pieces of chipboard working that magnet, you know, going between. So I don't want to do that. But I've got these doors. Let's see what we want to put here. So let me show you something I discovered. So these panels are exactly 4 by 6. So these photos that I took in this portrait style will fit here perfectly. And I thought it would be cool to kind of put people here like they were going to be opening the door for us. And if you know the show at all, this is Carson and Mrs. Hughes. And so that makes sense. So we're going to put them there. Then I've just picked out 3 others to kind of flank the whole piece. This is kind of a neat place to put some photos. And this I feel like won't add too much bulk how I'm doing it, because I'm not going to add any ephemera or anything here. The reason I'm not is because I don't want to add too much bulk, especially here. So I'm just going to place this down and let this be the entrance of our little album here. So I'm going to put those there and then these over here. Now, again, don't get glossy photos. They just get fingerprints. I'm going to have to come back through with a soft cloth and kind of buff these guys up. They're just going to have fingerprints forever, but you live and learn. Live and learn. And I am a matte photo fan. Look, I got glue on that one. I have to watch that too. Is it just going to be a day? Oh, it came right off. That's good. That's one thing different. If that was on matte, it would not come right off. It almost came off. I can get that with my cloth. All right, let's open this up and glue two in here. If you're familiar with Downton Abbey at all, you'll know that Miss Sybil's pants, or pantaloons, whatever, they're not pantaloons, are they? They were like bubbly pants. They're a pretty big deal in the show, and I thought they would be cool right here. And then I thought we could decorate around this picture a bit because it's going to live kind of in the center, and I thought this would be really cute. Look at that. Notice how I'm not matting these pictures. I think I have enough ephemera and tags and different little things to put in here that I don't have to mat them to make them pop. So notice that I'm not doing that here. Let me find some stuff to go around this. So see this layout that I have here? I found this little word that says delightful. I found lovely, an arrow to point to the pants, and then remember. And here I'll be able to write like Miss Sybil's famous pants or something like that. I think that'll be funny. So I'm going to glue all this kind of stuff down, and I think it will look really good. I'm telling you, you can make these albums so easy with very little effort when you have all of these little pieces to work with it. And it's just basically gluing things down. Just basically. I might should have changed the color of that tab, but I think it looks good. And I thought the remember would be funny kind of over the top of the pants. See that? Kind of showing that off. And then delightful. And the reason I'm using delightful is because it was very, very funny. I mean, it was a little bit controversial for her family, but it was funny for the rest of us to see her, how her pants caused such a commotion. Tell me in the comments if you watched Downton. Are you a fan? Was it your show? How many times have you watched it? I hesitate to tell you that I believe I have watched the whole series at least 5 times. And that is because I watched it 2 times the first time I found it. Then I watched it before the movie came out with Shannon. And I've watched it 1 time since. I may have watched it maybe only 4 times. I can't remember. I've watched it a lot of times. It's worth it every time too. So check that out. So now we've made this little photo section like that, right? And now we flip this guy up and we have all of this real estate to work with too. I'm going to turn this way just while we lay it out. And then when I glue it all in, we'll do it, the normal way. All right. So is this a good spot, I think, to put us? What a great spot there, huh? And maybe here where we're watching. So right here, this was them watching the intro before we actually went in. That one's kind of cool there. And let's see what else we've got. So I think what I'm going to do is go with these 3 pictures because they fit here really well. You can see I've got all of us at the top here. I've got them watching the movie because I was standing behind them. Brenda and I were standing behind them. And then I've got us again at the end of the event. So I'm going to do the same thing here I did in the front. I'm going to decorate around these guys and I'll show you when I'm done. By the way, you might think I'm covering one of us up. I didn't know that person. The only people watching here were these 3 because me and Brenda were standing behind them. So I'm not covering that person. I mean, I'm not covering up one of us, and I don't know who that is. So this doesn't bother me too bad to put this here. Plus, it kind of gets so dark under Shannon's backpack that you really can't see anybody there anyway. So it doesn't look like I've oh, why'd they knock that person out of the picture? We didn't do that. So what I'm going to do is continue throughout doing just like this until we fill up this entire little folio. So you guys, I've got this one all filled up, and honestly, it did not bulk up very much. Let me show you. This is it closed. Look, it's pretty much square with no bulk, and I did end up using some chipboard pieces inside. So let me show you. So when you open here, you'll see that I got this little piece of ephemera, and I'm going to use it for journaling. I want to have some places to make some little jot notes that I've told you guys before that Brenda taught me about, just jotting a sentence about the day or a sentence about the scene in the photo, not having to write a whole story of the day. And then when you come down here, when we open this folio up, you see we got these two little doors that open like so. And then we've got the pants in here, and there is no chipboard in this one, but when you lift this one up and you look to the back, you'll see we're getting a little more bulk here, right? Because we've got more little ephemeras, more here, plus another photo there. I have another photo here with more ephemera. This one does not open, but when we roll it up a little bit for you to see it, you can see here that now this one opens, and there's chipboard right there. That's a piece of chipboard. Chipboard and chipboard and chipboard. So see, I put some of that in here. This opens again. This picture is so funny. You guys, this is Shannon with her head through the thing of the little boy, George, which is so funny to me. And I made a big space for journaling here because I wanted to be able to talk about that photo because I think it's funny. And then inside of here, look. So I have this page that was the wreath, and I just love the wreath. I didn't think it needed a photo or anything. What I did instead was found pieces with wording that worked. So like this says, one fine day, documented, good friends, the sweet life, all my heart, and my favorite. And I just decorated that page for looks, right? Then over here, you can see that I have pictures of us. Now, you'll see this picture in here twice, but here's why. This is Kim and Lisa and Shannon and Brenda in this one. And then when I come down here, you'll see that it's Kim and me and Lisa and Shannon because Brenda took this picture. So I thought it'd be cute to have them both in here. And there is chipboard on this bottom piece. Let me get where you can see it. There's a piece of chipboard here, but it did not bulk. Does this one close? No, it's this one. It's this way. It doesn't matter. Actually, no, that is not right. It's this way, then this way. Then, oh, it's a puzzle, y'all. There we go. And then this closes, and look, no resistance at all whatsoever. I'm not having to do anything to keep that closed or anything. And the best part, I'm fixing to glue it in the book. I cannot wait. I just wanted to glue something in to our little holder here. So I've got it here, and all I have to do is glue the back. Now this one's decorated and can go in. It's ready to go. So fun, you guys. Now I do have to say this. I think this video may be at least one more part. I'm going to call today's video part 2, the one we're doing right now, because this took me a little bit. Okay, so I want to get this one out for you guys so you don't have to wait. And then I think I can do the other 2 sides in one video. We will see. All right, now I got to hold this guy and line him up in here. And I want to take my glasses off because I can't see with them on. And I want to look around and make sure I've got him in here really centered. And that feels good. I'm going to let that dry for just a second. And we have officially put our first part of our album in. I am so excited. I cannot wait to finish this. But like I said, this took me a minute. Okay, the video might not be super long, but it took a minute. But we're going to do this insert and our bottom insert in the next part. I think I can get those done in one part. And I think that's all of our inserts. Let me check. So this folds up and it'll have an insert. It has a waterfall that fits in. And then this one comes over, and then this one comes over. Oh, I'm learning it. I'm figuring it out. So I want to stand this up so you can see how this works. See how our first one is inside here? Isn't that cool? All right, so let's close it and see how we're doing so far. So far, so good. So far, so good. I'm hoping we don't get a lot of bulk. Let's open this back up because I want to show you. So when the person is sitting down to look at your album, it opens like this, and they can start here. And then this will fold out and fold out and fold out. And they'll be able to see all the stuff you have inside of here. And you might even want to put like a little pull tab or something here. I don't know. We may get there. We'll see. But that is exciting to get one installed. I'm really happy about that. All right. So next time we come back, we work on the next 2 inserts. The one that will live, let me move this so you can see it. The one that will live here. And we'll also work on the one that will live here. And then we just decorate the outside and we're pretty much done. All right, guys, thanks so much for coming along on this journey. I hope you're enjoying it. I love hearing your comments and all the things you had to say about it and how many of you were like, this is really changing the game, isn't it? It really does. It makes album making the easiest thing ever. So I hope you enjoy this one. Okay, guys, you know what I want you to do? If you're making one of these, I want to see it in our customer gallery. Even if you're just at part 1 or part 2, you can take photos and share them with us. Let us know. I love looking at your work. And don't forget to subscribe. You know, I'm trying to reach my 400,000 subscriber goal this year. So help me do that by hitting that red button. Until next time, bye, guys.